Alright, in this video I'm going to help you solve problems 693, 694, and 695. Problem 693 is not too different to the problems that you have already seen on 691 and 692. Actually, it's quite similar to 692. The objective here is to compute the mud window determined by the values of PWBO and for PV for varying conditions of stress anisotropy. So as you can see over here, I'm asking for 3 points and different types of sigma H max as a function of sigma V. So for a given value of sigma H max, you're going to be able to compute a value of sigma H min. And here you're going to have 3 cases. Let's say 1, 2, and 3. For those 3 cases, you have to compute what is PW BO45. Let me zoom in a little bit. PWBO for 45 degrees. I'm also asking for PW0 or PW shear, as I call it in my notes, and the value of PV. And for 3 different cases of stress anisotropy. The main message from this problem is to put in numbers what is the effect of stress anisotropy. And as you're going to see, as your stress anisotropy, the difference between sigma H max and sigma H min for this particular case increases, that means that it's going to be harder to drill a wellbore and your mud window is going to be smaller. So your PWBO, if it was somewhere over here for this small stress anisotropy, as you increase that small stress anisotropy, this value is going to increase. And the value of PV is going to decrease. As a result, this is more or less what you should obtain. Your mud window is going to decrease with increasing stress anisotropy. This is the objective of this problem. And as I was telling you, the equations are not too different from the ones of problem 692. Problem 694 is quite similar too, but in this case, we are under conditions offshore. So here you have the surface of the water, the seafloor. Remember that in all of these analysis of geomechanics, it's going to be very important you compute accurately what are the stresses in situ. And in this case, of course, you should take into account the depth of the water. And you have to compute similarly for this case what are at a given condition at a given depth the conditions of wellbore stability for a wellbore at a given depth, and similar to the case before, I like that you compute what is the PWBO for a 45 degrees breakout angle, what is the PWBO for 0 degrees, which is equal to PW shear, and also what is the breakdown pressure. Again, the equations are the same, and in these 2 cases, you are dealing with vertical wellbores. The last problem is a little bit different because it involves a horizontal well. And in problem 695, you are in a case of strike slip. So you will have to recognize which is S1, which is S2, and which is S3. I'm not going to tell you what the solution is. And you're going to have to consider first a case of a wellbore drilled in the direction of SH max. So part A, it's a wellbore drill in the direction of SH max. So let me clarify that that's going to be a horizontal wellbore. So here you have a horizontal well in the direction of SH mean or parallel to SH mean. And another one parallel to SH max. This is something similar to an example that I have in the notes. And in that horizontal wellbore, for that particular cross section, you have to tell me for a cross section of the wellbore, where are breakouts and tensile fractures going to occur. So the solution could be top and bottom or on the sides. You're going to tell me that based on the orientation of the stresses that are acting on the cross section of those two wells. One parallel to SH mean and the other one parallel to SH max. In part B, you have to go a little bit more into computing some numbers. Here you have the values of SH mean, SH max. Also, you have the gradient for vertical stress. So with all this data, you're going to be able to tell me what is SH mean, SH max already given, but you should also compute what is SV, what is the pore pressure. With those, you should be able to tell what are the effective stresses and what is the effective stress tensor. And with those, to compute wellbore stability and determine the mechanical limits. So the calculation of PV is quite straightforward. You have the equation for that. That's going to be your upper bound. Notice that your tensile strength is equal to 0. So that means that your rock cannot bear any tensile stress at all. And for the breakouts, you you have to determine, or you have to assume that based on a breakout angle. Let me see if there is anything here that tells you what the breakout angle should be. It doesn't appear to tell that, but let's just assume as a lower bound either the pore pressure or PWBO for a breakout angle equal to 45 degrees. And after you determine that, then you're going to have to compute well, actually this should be the entire upper bound, which is the next point. So here, just compute what is PWBO 45, and then you determine what is the mud window. And here, you not only take into account the values of that you calculated before, like PV, like PWBO 45 degrees, but you should also take into account pore pressure, and you should also take into account the minimum principal stress. And in D, you're going to compare the two wells. The well drilled parallel to SH mean versus the well parallel to SH max and to see which is the one that has the wider mud window, or which is the one that has more margin to be drilled. All right, so with this we end the homework for wellbore stability. Remember that I'm not going to ask you to solve problems with wellbores which are not oriented or parallel with one of the principal stresses. I'm going to ask you problems with wellbores, either horizontal or vertical, that are parallel to one of the principal stresses. You should know how to interpret those figures that we showed in the lecture about deviated wellbores, but you don't have to solve that numerically. All right, that's it for this video.